Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Cult Classic Podcast. Cameron Jones here with my co-hosts,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
We're keeping it with the Tom Hanks theme this summer so far. And
we could do this for 2 years.
We really could.
Especially on the clip we're putting out.
We're just doing another childhood classic for us. What movie are we doing, boys?
This is our hat trick Tom Hanks episode. We're doing the 1988 film Big.
After wishing to be made big, a teenage boy wakes the next morning to find himself mysteriously in the body of an adult. Tom Hanks.
Just a good romp, just a good family fun. I mean, adult, it's PG, but it's adult.
Starring Tom Hanks, Elizabeth Perkins, John Lovitz, John Hurd.
Director Penny Marshall.
This is a fun movie where it's just a kid getting to blow a bunch of money, just having adult money, which is always fun.
It's the springboard for Tom Hanks and to becoming America's sweetheart. He's on his way there.
Have you ever had a really big secret?
I have an adult penis now. You know, this is just your classic, I made a wish, I'm switching bodies movie, and I have to learn a moral in order for me to get back into my body. Actually, not so much. It's more about just finding the wizard that cursed you, kind of, and getting your wish back.
You're only a boy once, but for Josh, it might just last a lifetime.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. This movie is up there as maybe one of the coolest bedrooms in movie history. Big.
All right, cast and crew. We can take the silly trailer voices off. It is directed by Penny Marshall. We actually, a couple episodes ago, just did A League of Their Own, also done by her. So
she's come up quite a bit recently. So by now, if you've been listening long, you should know Penny Marshall. I mean, got her start off of Laverne and Shirley. Got her start off of Laverne and Shirley. Go back and see our last few episodes. We talk about Penny Marshall.
This is our third Tom Hanks that we've done in a row. Have we done one before this? Probably.
Yeah, we've done 3 so far. This is the 4th.
This is the third. We did Burbs twice.
Okay. Well, this is our hat trick Tom Hanks episode. You know who Tom Hanks is. We just
what a fun little hat trick, though.
Yeah.
You've got a co-star in A League of Their Own.
Oh,
his breakout role here.
Oh, that's on this summer, but we have done another. We did do that thing you do, so we have done more Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You fucked up about that one.
This one's a springboard, I think, into stardom more than anything.
I like that. Elizabeth Perkins plays Susan. I thought I knew her in more. I really did, but I think I'm just thinking of Susan Sarandon and/or Sigourney Weaver.
You were gonna recognize her from some movies from our childhood. She plays Fred Flintstone, Wilma Flintstone.
Wilma.
You're gonna know her as the mom on Miracle on 34th Street, the 1994 version. In fact, everything.
More than I thought then.
She's also done a lot of TV though. If you look at her IMDb, she's been working pretty consistently. So you do just see her in a lot, but it is sometimes kind of.
She's in Weeds, but she's not the main chick, right?
No. Took a little break there for a second. We figured out a little audio issue we're having, so Jordan's not going to sound like he's in a bathroom now. So moving on.
Next up is Robert Loggia, plays MacMillen, Mr. MacMillen, the toy company guy, CEO, president.
Real jovial in this. You'll know him from our episode of Independence Day. Go back and see that.
He's in Scarface too, but I really remember him from this mostly, in Independence Day, obviously.
Yeah.
John Hurd plays Paul. He's the dad from Home Alone. Rest in peace. He just died actually a few years back.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
For sure, the main role I usually think of him in is Home Alone.
Home Alone, or this.
I mean, and it's a perennial, so I just do see him about once a year. He is very familiar, despite me not knowing a lot of his work.
That makes sense. If you're going to see one movie of his every year, you're going to remember that role.
Mm-hmm. David Moscow plays young Josh.
Don't know.
Nope.
He was in the Disney Newsies. He was in the
he's David.
He's David.
Davey. He's Davey.
I know him very well.
He's also in a VHS movie that I had back at my childhood house.
Just called David Moscow.
It was like White Wolves, A Cry in the Wild.
Oh wait, was it
2.
like a Disney movie?
It was like a teacher for some reason took his students on like a hiking trip, and he hurt himself or even maybe dying.
Huh.
He's in
not
that.
familiar.
Oh, I thought you were about to describe me an off-brand White Fang, but that's not.
Yeah,
what
I thought you
happened.
were just describing White Fang too, and I'm like, I think
That's not White Fang at all. White Fang is a
But
Disney,
then there is a wolf there. There is a wolf
That's
involved.
true.
It's close.
That's where I got all White Fanged.
Yeah, white fanged out.
Yeah.
Jared Rushton plays Billy, good friend Billy, also in a White Wolves: A Cry in the Wild. The
that
first
for
one, though.
sure?
Yeah.
Cool. So they're just
He's
good
in the
friends
first
now.
one.
this is
Josh
a whole
in the second one.
series.
Yeah, it's a yeah.
You may know him from
Yeah, more known from Honey, I Shrunk the
Honey, I Shrunk the Kid,
Kid.
series, at least 1 and 2.
I think the first one.
Just the first one.
I think I mistook him from.
You did,
okay,
but we'll
yeah.
get to that in your recast.
Okay.
Nice save. John Lovitz plays Scotty Brennan, sort of the next door, not neighbor. What I'm trying to say, next door cubicle over.
He's
Yeah,
a cube mate. Here's the deal about John Lovitz. I don't know what he's like in real life, but if he's not
Seems a lot
playing
like
himself,
yeah.
if this isn't what he's like, then he is an actor. He's a thespian, but I have a feeling that this is what it was like to be at SNL working along a cubicle.
he's in a league of their own.
He is a
second
league
week,
of their own.
second week in a row, we're talking about John Lovitz. So welcome
In
back, John
fact,
Lovitz.
The
just
Burbs in between there.
Oh,
but-
never mind. Well, it's the second time I'm talking about him recently.
yeah.
And when aren't we?
Penny Marshall wrote his role for him in A League of Their Own, based off of this.
Go back and listen to our episode of League of Their Own.
He's also in Rat Race. I like him in Producers.
The Critic. I mean, I'm sure we've mentioned it before on the podcast, but his short-lived cartoon series.
I think a 1 and done, right? Maybe 2.
I think of 2 seasons.
I think we're
It
close to the end
stinks.
here, but Mrs. and Mr. Baskin are kind of more TV actors, it seems. I didn't really recognize them a lot, but Mercedes Rule and Josh Clark play
Hold
the
up.
mom
When
and
do we
dad.
ever see Mr. Baskin?
Briefly. Just at the carnival.
When he's like, is that
Oh, yeah, you're right. So where was
are
he
those
the
your
whole...
parents?
Okay, I guess I just thought of a slew of questions now I have about him. But
Oh, yeah, true.
Mercedes Rules is familiar. What do I know her from? Mobster movie?
It feels like she's in Goodfellas, but I don't think that's her.
Karen.
Huh, yeah, maybe I'm just mistaken of her. I might not just know her that well.
She seems like the girlfriend from Goodfellas, but I don't think it's her. Shout out to her. She's in. Go back and maybe don't go back and listen to our Warriors episode. I don't know if we killed it, but she's in it somewhere.
Really?
Oh, okay, well, there you go. Maybe that's what we're thinking.
No, probably not. Unless she was dressed up all crazy like it in Gang, I doubt.
I'm seeing some credits here for Entourage, so that might have got me. Do you guys want to move on to Unverified?
I think we should.
Let's do it.
All right, Unverified. This one was just littered with casting what ifs, so we're going to save a lot of those.
Oh yeah, that's all going to be in recasting for you.
Casting and directing what ifs. It just
Yeah, a lot of
seems
possi-
like everybody was on the table, and we'll get into that later.
I just got a couple of just fun classic ones here for you. It's ranked number 10 in the American Film Institute's list of 10 greatest films in the fantasy genre. It doesn't seem like it maybe fits there.
I think they're just saying fantasy is magic.
Yeah, probably. Included among American Film Institute's top 100 funniest American movies, it's number 42. It's also on the list of 1,001 movies you need to see before you die.
Done.
This is a fun one. The young Josh actually played the first scene just to show Tom Hanks kind of how he would do it, and Tom Hanks I went with that. I
I
like
have it
that
on
one.
verified further than that. I was led to believe through some of my crack research that he would actually act out all the scenes before Tom Hanks, so that he would essentially recreate it. But I might be mistaken. That's why this is unverified.
I thought it was the first couple scenes, but if it's the whole movie, that's awesome.
It would be great for him because that would give him probably a lot more money to be there every single day on set. Then again, he's a child actor, so who knows?
Yeah, I read that, and I just assumed that Tom Hanks looked at that and was like, hey, thanks, man, but I'm pretty much going to do what I want.
Oh, nope. Yeah, I actually have it right here. Yeah. Penny Marshall, she filmed David Malskowitz doing each scene for Tom Hanks to look at. So he maybe wasn't there on set, but he did have at least a take on film for Tom Hanks to try to recreate.
Sure.
So that's cool, though.
Yeah.
According to Robert Loggia, they had body doubles during the infamous piano scene, but him and Tom Hanks were adamant that if they could, they wanted to get it, just a full shot with them because it would look more believable. And they did. They
It
ended
was
up.
only for like incentive, right? Just be like, fuck.
Yeah, it was just pride. They're like,
pull it
we
off.
can do this. We don't need body doubles for this piano thing. 5 years.
Impressive.
Yeah, it
power
really
move.
is. Especially for his age, it does
Him,
look
it
like
would
some of
have
the
to be
jumps.
tough. Some of those jumps are tough. I assume, and this is a question, it's a trickle up question. There's no way that was the real audio that they were doing, though, right?
The timing was a little off sometimes, so maybe.
So the lights a little bit too, but that's a little nitpicky.
Yeah.
Such a great fucking
Yeah,
song.
even so,
it's
they
the
nailed
best. It might be the best thing in the movie.
We've talked about Penny Marshall, obviously, the last few weeks, but here's a fun one. She was the first female director with this movie to gross more than $100 million at the box office.
Crazy. And again,
Go off, Queen. That's what the kids are saying these days.
Was
What?
way down the line to get to direct this movie, or who ended up directing it. This one's fun. Before they made it PG-13 movies, this is along with Spaceballs from 1987, Caddyshack from 1988, and Beetlejuice from 1988. It's notable for containing the F word in a film rated PG.
Yeah, It did stand out when I was watching. I'm like, ho. They slipped that and a boob touch in. Wow, risque.
The boob touch wasn't slipped. That was like that was a main event moment. But yeah, we'll get to that. Tom Hanks came up with the Shimmy Shimmy Coco song.
So it seems like you and me just copied right down the list of him.
Going right down IMDb.
So apparently Tom Hanks came up with the Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Pup rap because one of his kids had learned it that summer over camp. So I'm throwing this at you. Which kid do you think it was?
Probably
Colin?
Probably Chet. White
Chet,
boy summer.
Chet's too young. I don't think Chet wasn't alive yet.
Oh, it was Chet, baby.
I think Chet's like your guys' age, so it might have. I don't know. Probably one of his unnamed kids. Just ones that get no
That's
credit.
such a camp song too.
I have a weird unverified for you, kind of like the It's a Wonderful Life. It is not known to this day who played Josh's baby sister. She was uncredited, and it's been forgotten in time whose random baby was using for the movie. So uncredited baby.
That seems
Weird and shady, and that there are like labor laws that you would have to have that well documented.
You just got to assume it's somebody in the film crew's kid.
Or something, yeah.
Otherwise, it sounds like they abducted a baby.
I always like hearing about the improvised parts that a lot of these actors do. And Tom Hanks improvised at least the baby corn scene when he's just chewing on the baby corn. So that's fun.
To go along with that, when
Memorable
Josh and Billy are dicking around in the, I don't know if it's
with
the
the silly
hotel.
string?
Yeah, with the silly string. They were just giving toys, Tom Hanks, kid who plays Billy, and Josh. And they were like, hey, just get to know each other, dick around with these toys. And they were trying to gross each other out with the silly string. And it ended up making the film.
Love that. David Moscow, young Josh wore colored contacts to match the eye color of Tom Hanks.
Ooh, that seems like way too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed that either way, I don't think.
I'd guess
Maybe, though.
brown or blue, maybe. But
Does Tom Hanks has blue eyes, right?
Blue
I'm
eyes.
thinking of the Castaway poster. I feel like those always popped.
I don't know if he has blue eyes, but that Castaway poster sure does. And they pop.
Should we move on to questions?
Comments.
Animosities.
I want to say this because we did talk about this a few weeks ago with League of Their Own. Another good casting for just young Tom Hanks. Believable.
Yeah.
A lot of the times you can recast people and it's pretty easy, but this one I'm like, ooh, who would do it better than Tom Hanks? I don't know what he brings to it. It's not just a naivety, right? A lot of people could pretend to play a kid, but just there's something about Tom Hanks in this role specifically that is kind of just his, and it was tough to recapture.
He plays silly well.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I guess that could be it. I like him agitated, but he's not agitated in this movie.
Yeah, he just makes a good actor. He can do so many things so well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I try not to get too nitpicky anymore with my questions, comments, or animosities, but I do have one. If you're watching this movie, at the very beginning, when young Josh is at the carnival with his parents and he sees that girl that he wants to see, he budges down the middle of a row line when he could just, it's like in a field, he could just walk up along the outside and be like, oh, hey, what's up? It just really bugged me. That's all. It's very nitpicky.
What are you going to say to young Josh when he butts past you when
I'm
you're
going to shove
waiting
him
for
down because I'm a
It's the
senior. And
80s,
this is,
so I think you can just push him
Yeah,
down.
I'm gonna just
Get out
beat-
of here, kid. Peep squeak. And it's New Jersey, so I think anything's...
and then when he gets up to that he's too small, there's definitely like, loser kind of thing.
hard insults in the 80s.
Also,
Really,
am I crazy in saying that like roller coaster height thing seemed kind of tall?
Okay, I do have questions mainly, and this triggered it. There's so many things that the height included. I'm like, he's 13. He's not 10. he would be able to ride that fucking
It's
ride
not an
7
age
years
issue.
ago.
It's they got to be clipped in,
That's
man.
true. It is a height issue, but he should be tall enough. But we'll get to that in a second.
Or you're just saying he should grow fast. He needs to be bigger at his age.
He didn't say he wants
hasn't
to
been
get
drinking his
older. He
milk
says, I
and-
want to be big.
That's
it was
true.
really just
We'll get there.
It was a real monkey's paw
And
situation.
if I'm not mistaken, did he ever ride a roller coaster? And wasn't that like kind of the the impetus
he does
of
on
the-
his date with Susan.
Oh, there you go. Then it all worked out.
And she's like, this is going well. And he's like, this is the best day of my life. And he doesn't even know he's about to do it.
Oh, I see what you mean. The impetus of the whole
Wish,
the whole-
and he
the
doesn't
wish.
even ride a roller coaster. I think it's more to make some
No, I
mac
get you,
on the
but
lady.
that's
But
interesting you point that out.
Was his wish just to be big enough to ride a roller coaster?
no, I think it was like
Josh is pretty
All right,
naive.
All right, if we're going there, like it would have been funny if Zoltar was just made him fucking like 7 foot and like 300
Same
pound
size, but-
third grader. Like
I did have a. What
He didn't wish to be older.
I
wished
did
to
have
be
a thing.
big,
If like it
to
turns
be
out at
big,
the end,
fat as fuck.
At the end, he finds the Zoltan machine, but then he has to go to the doctor. Like, no, you have a thyroid condition. You're 13.
Do you guys remember those Extend commercials? They might even still play. I don't know. I just don't stay up as long. Like the Make Your Dick Bigger pills, Extend.
we know what those are.
I always thought it'd be funny along the lines of wishing yours were big. They're like, and they in the ad they say, and they make that special region on a man, bigger. And I'm like, what if it just makes your balls really, really, really big, and it doesn't extend your penis, but you have really long, extended balls?
Yeah. Like
Well, you can keep that or cut it. It didn't seem to
that's
land
odd.
with you
That's
guys.
I mean, that's just a gross visual, I guess. What? So it also basically just stemmed from the verbiage on this roller coaster sign because that's I just want to be big enough to.
No, because
I will say this though. If it should have been you should be this high, this tall.
No, because the whole conflict starts with them, like the girl talking to him at the beginning at school. Like it's all about her because like it's the tall guy. It's like he can drive. He wants to be old enough just to be able to impress girls.
No, but
so
where
really,
he got
that's
the
what it
word
is.
"big" was just from the sign.
Yeah,
It's,
roll credits.
Big. I got to be bigger.
Yeah, he's stupid.
I'm gonna say this about that ride, whatever it was. Was it even a roller coaster?
Yeah, it was
one
a
of
roller
those-
coaster.
Okay, whatever that roller coaster was, if the height had to be over 5'1", that means they lost some.
Yeah, a
kids.
lot of business.
No,
Oh, you mean they
I
lost
mean,
kids?
like I'm saying, if they're like, you really got to be this tall. We've had
They
some
keep
issues
raising.
with
Yeah,
this
it's
one.
like there's like a tally mark that's a little bit like
Yeah,
shorter.
it's like washed out. It's
Like,
like,
oh fuck.
no accidents
Gotta
for
raise that up.
we're
Well, kind
working
of going off your thinking there. So Zoltan's just a thing in a theme park. How many other kids did it just monkey paw some crazy wishes that were out of their control?
True.
Which also leads me to this. Would you guys be willing to see a spin-off now, just a movie called Zoltan?
Zoltar?
It's
Oh,
not about
yeah,
being
hell
big.
yeah.
It's just another wish that random machine just granted.
No, I wouldn't want to see that. I would like to see another spin-off, though, that I thought about.
Okay.
Maybe even just a short Robot Chicken sketch of it.
Okay.
I want to see what Josh's friend Billy would be like as a big adult, because it would be rated R as fuck.
Similar vibe, but
Billy's the bad kid of the two of them.
Yeah, it'd be like in It's a Wonderful Life, it'd be Pottersville.
you'd think so, but Billy's the one that has his priorities strained. He's trying
Oh,
to
no,
get
if we're talking about Billy, I do want to talk about how he's
Nice young boy.
He's resourceful as fuck. I can't believe all the things Billy can do at even 13, even though it seems like in the movie, this is actually big. This is big animosity. They're 13, but they make them seem like they're 7-year-olds.
Yeah, they seem a little too young.
They're middle schoolers, so they would be not as young as they portray.
Although there is one thing that's a little inappropriate and more mature for them. Like, did you notice that Tom Hanks is almost always checking out the ass of like whatever females on
I
screen?
noticed it a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like the bosoms too.
Yeah, it seems like he's just
breasts.
almost always doing that.
That might be the most realistic 13-year-old thing they're doing.
That's
Oh.
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Actually, you know
which,
what?
which also makes me think. You know how he was studying the tape of that kid? Does that mean that kid was just checking everybody out and they caught him?
Wait, which part?
You know how Penny Marshall taped David Moskowitz or Moskowitz, whatever his name is, to like. Does that mean he literally just got caught on camera?
You're saying that was his character choices, and Tom Hanks like I got
Tom Hanks is just following.
Yeah, I feel like a more realistic 13-year-old would be like, I don't know, just being more destructive. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like playing hockey inside or like.
Yeah, and meaner, way meaner.
When we play like with Transformers or like.
Yeah,
that
the
type of
toys
toys.
thing. So, okay, so that's my blanket biggest animosity with
The
not
90s
only.
were different though. The 90s were different.
I know we've all seen Instagram.
80s.
They're like, this is what 13-year-olds used to look like, and now they look like 32. So times have changed. But I grew up closer to that than where we are now, right? So my biggest animosity with this genre of movie, when a kid becomes an adult, or it's a kid trapped in an adult's body, they always make them more childlike than they really would act. And I get why they do that, but it kind of pisses me off. And it happens in 13 Going on 30 and other aging up movies like this.
You probably need to like overdo it a little bit just to.
Yeah, otherwise you would just be like kind of like a really mean adult.
Just
like
sort
a
of
mean
silly
adult.
Yeah.
And let's not underestimate how dumb like you are as a middle schooler.
True. I just want to take it back for 1 second. At the very beginning, when he wakes up and he is big, what's your play? Because I think he plays it wrong. I think you got to get the mom on your side.
You got to tell. You got to like, take my fingerprints. Let's not spread this, but I am your
I
son.
would never try to like sneak out and figure it out. That's not the play. I need the parental to.
So you have to lock yourself in your room so she can't see you, right?
No, I think I'm immediately like, Mom.
Then her reaction is dead exactly what would happen.
Her reaction was correct.
Yeah,
he played it.
I mean, he's a kid, but you still there has to be something you can say maybe to like be like, when I was 7, we went to
he
blah
was
blah
trying
blah.
to say
like,
that. And she was still just like, heck, she was
yeah,
still
I guess
get a knife.
I guess what he underestimated before she got the knife is he's a 30-year-old man, and he should have just bear hugged her. He should have just taken control of the situation and just, here's what's going on.
I mean, this is how you get stabbed.
Do you remember?
Cameron, I need you to know
Here's
that.
how you get
Mark,
killed
here's
by
what's
your mom.
happening. I've already bear hugged you. I'm just whispering in your ear. Do you remember when I was 7 and we went to California?
He shows his mom his underwear.
Well, think about it.
What have you done to my son?
Oh,
It gets worse and worse as you like try to like explain
Guys,
yourself.
I'm just gonna keep saying them. Another example: you don't wear dungaroos as a 13-year-old. Those underwears are
Dungarees.
like 5.
the
underoos,
underoos.
whatever they are. And then here, there's many questions about magic and what happens. How do they fit him? How did those underwear fit?
Oh, his
Josh?
balls are just getting crushed inside.
Underoos, guys?
Yeah, when I was
When
7.
I was really, really little for a second,
Like 5.
I was more of a Power Rangers guy.
now.
Is underoo a specific one or just?
No, I think that's just. Isn't
That's
that
like
just
Batman.
I'm just talking about
whatever,
underwear. Do you guys wear
Spider-Man.
underwear? No.
Sometimes.
Just boxers briefs nowadays. For the last 15 years, which is nice that society gave us those. They're way better.
I think there's an untapped adult dungaroos.
Oh yeah,
Underoo,
I mean it'd be fun to wear,
yeah.
but I need them to be boxer briefs. I don't do briefs anymore.
Sure.
Question for you guys.
Okay.
Do you want a glimpse of you from like 20 years in the future, or do you not want to know?
Now I'd like to know.
If you're 13 years old, would you like to see you at 30 if you were him, or is it kind
got a
of
question.
ruined? Like, I guess I'm just Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Hold on.
There's some layers here. How does he know he's 30?
Well, I
'cause
think
Tom
they just
Hanks
guessed.
is 30. I think is the real answer. I think Tom Hanks was 30 when he made this movie. So
Sure. I'm just saying, how does Josh, when he turns, know he's like, I'm 30, because he makes like, I'm going to be 30 forever? Or is that just kind of a joke? Like,
I
I'm
think
going to be
it's just
this
a
Yeah, I
old
think
forever.
he's guessed and stuck with it.
Got it. Yeah, the biggest question is, like, do you want to see yourself in
is it
30 years or
realistic
13?
30? Because I'm like,
Yeah, that's going to be
or
him.
is it
16 years? What, 17 years?
is it optimistic 30? Because I feel like
I mean, he did. Well, he.
Well, yeah,
Tom
what
Hanks
30-year-old
yeah.
are you going to be?
He wakes up in the morning. He's like missing his right leg. He's 200 pounds overweight now.
right.
yeah, is that what Josh is really going to be
got a
like at
bit of a
30 or
coke
not?
problem.
I don't know.
You know, if you just taken like your child metabolism and skinniness and then just expanding, just taking it by the
what
corner.
we got was more just a police sketch of this is what Josh could look like at 30.
So-
he's not necessarily going to look like that.
So
at 30.
hear me out. If everything goes right, metabolism, diet, whatever, that's your pristine 30, right? Mm-hmm. Then the mom should be able to be like, "That. Oh my God, that
It
is
does
Josh."
look pretty. Yeah, I mean that plus a little bit of story. Again, he should have bear hugged her. He should have stopped the
I
knife
think
situation.
it's door closed. You say a lot of like, "Mom, like
You gotta just
you're
tell
not
her.
going to believe this."
I'll tell you what I don't do. I do get where Josh comes from going to talk to his friend Billy. It's like, Billy will help me out. Because let's be honest, Billy's wise as fuck.
Billy's
the
wise
smart-
beyond
Like
his years.
I won't stop singing his praises. It's
Salt of
so
the earth,
resourceful.
Billy is.
I can't believe that at 13 he knows how to take a bus every day to New York City
Yeah.
and find his fucking friend.
It's honestly-
I'm just
He's
amazed.
done that before.
It's
He's bought,
honestly-
he's bought a little
yeah.
reefer off of.
It's honestly amazing and terrifying that he by himself each night left New York in that shady neighborhood to get all the way back by himself.
Yeah, he's like, I'll skip class. I'll be here by 8 a.m. It's like, what the fuck, Billy? Okay, Josh, totally get you're going to meet with your friend. He'll help you through it. Really, really big misstep lurking around corners in a school as a 30-year-old man in
Tough
a
look.
swimsuit.
Never would have shown up
Extra
to school.
charges.
I never would have gone to school.
Wait it out. I would have tried to get him on the way to school. But
I would
just
have
wait
called
until
the school
after.
and called Billy out.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
That's another thing. Is Josh kind of... I'm not saying he's dumb because he knows how to do computers and like
Don't say he's dumb.
bag
He's,
women.
He
but he's
rolled
too
up.
naive.
He doesn't know how to play computers. He knows how to play a computer game. You know what I
Cameron,
mean?
in the 80s, that was computers.
True.
I mean, that's all you needed to know.
Mark and I were just watching some
If you could play the
reruns.
Oregon Trail, you knew how to code.
Yeah,
Mark and I,
I mean, essentially.
Mark and I were just watching some reruns of Legends of the Hidden Temple on Nickelodeon, and like 3 out of 4 kids were like, "What do you like to do for fun?" "I like to program computers." What's that mean? What's that mean back then?
And then the next person was like, I also like to program.
program
It's like,
computers.
bullshit.
You heard the kid ahead of you. Sorry, go. You were saying
Just
something.
those are 2 alien kids. I as well like to program. Like, it's just something.
He's like side-eyeing.
I just think it's a bad look to be hiding in a gym at 30. Like, even Josh has got to know. Even in the 80s, you got stranger danger.
I mean, I guess I would think the Zoltan thing, but I wouldn't immediately think there's a medical thing happening with me. I need to go to the doctor.
Yeah, I would be so frightened.
I wouldn't jump to Sultan.
Like the look in the mirror.
No.
And if this would have happened to me
You
in
wouldn't connect the dots?
1995, I've been like, we got a quantum leap situation.
I'd be in the mirror like, damn it, I said big. Like looking down my underwear.
Yeah, there's dick jokes that I thought about.
Yeah, there's some dick jokes.
Just big general question over the whole movie. How long is it supposed to take? What's
6
the
weeks.
Is it 6 weeks?
They
we know
talk
for
about
sure.
it forever.
Okay.
I don't know if that's how long it did.
It seems
form
like months.
about like all the arcade
month
games
and a
comes
half.
in soon as 6 weeks, right? So she's like,
Yeah.
if you're lucky, you'll get it. I mean,
That's true.
it
So
could-
that's just the time frame I was
couple
working
months
at.
maybe.
And then maybe a couple months, because Billy, when he talked to his mom, I think.
well, even after the fact when he got the notice, right?
Yeah.
There was some
a couple
pullback from
days.
Josh, just being like, I don't know about.
So maybe 2 months. In 2 months'
2 months
time,
tops.
he did so much.
Well,
He
let's
could-
just talk
he
about
lived a
how
lifetime.
unrealistic.
He
this
got
is
a
the biggest
job,
question.
moved up like all the way to the top, fully furnished, and moved into an apartment.
Well,
Granted, he had a lot of
In
movers,
the
and
funnest
most
way
of it
possible.
was like
So the big unrealistic thing is he created an identity.
yeah. Well,
I don't know how he could get. Did he just straight cash home me everything?
Yeah, after a couple
He-
days, they're gonna ask about the social that he made up.
Well, he went to a
Although
bank.
this is pre-internet and stuff, so that might bounce back. Take
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
He's about to
That's
get
just the
canned.
standard in 88.
Is that about like? I mean, shit. The Catch Me If You Can guy just had to go over to town and be
I was
like,
thinking about that.
I'm
It's
Frank
kind of
Abagnale.
Catch Me-
You know,
yeah.
so maybe it is kind of like that. Maybe you could lie for 6 weeks if you just pay everything in cash. I want this apartment.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
this is an
he's
abandoned
getting-
warehouse.
They're still making a paycheck out to someone with a social security
Well,
number.
that's what I
and
don't
he's going
understand.
to a bank to cash it. So, like,
Yeah.
theoretically, he has an account with him, right?
The biggest, I think you can just cash
it
check.
at a check.
Maybe he
I-
got lucky, pulled a new one, pulled his actual social, like just
Catch me if
pulled
you
out
guessed
of
it right.
Catch
Thin
me
air.
if you can has taught me if you aren't a member of our bank, sir, we can't cash your check here. So I don't know.
That was,
But
in
that was
the
1960s.
60s, though, so yeah. Well, okay, so say he did guess. Say Josh guessed his social security number correct.
One and a
That would turn back. Hey, it says here you're 13 and you live in New Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah, that's,
That's
me.
me,
That's me, all
That's
right.
all right.
Would you believe how long would it take you to believe your friend? Or is there anything that one of you could say to your friends to get them to believe you kind of thing?
How long would it take you to believe you? Like, just like,
I don't.
like,
I
like, am I like, what is like?
okay.
When my
first of
mom
all,
starts stabbing me in the kitchen,
True.
and I don't wake up from this nightmare.
I don't know what I would do. You don't know how to react. But if Cameron and I were in that situation, I woke up in my bedroom when I was 13, I'd be like, Cameron, we have a problem because we shared a bed.
Do you have something you could tell him that you like?
No. I mean,
Yeah, that's
because we have shared life
Yeah,
experiences.
yeah. I mean, it's like just I'm
but
sure like any.
I'm sure that if you were about to get abducted by a 30-year-old man, they'd tell you a lot of lies and try to get you in the van, you know?
Cameron,
How do you know so much? What
Cameron, do
you
you
do to
remember
Jordan?
that night? And
Yeah, I don't know what to be like.
yeah, what would it be?
Cameron, you remember when I went to bed last night? Here? I don't know. But, sorry, to that point,
Cameron, Wendy's or McDonald's?
when
What do I like?
It depends on the menu items.
before Josh sings the Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Puff song, right? Billy does cry and is just scared and sad, so that might be accurate to the how you would react. I
Yeah, that's
actually, in the
true.
moment, I'm like,
What would have helped the story is if I would have liked to see Billy. I would have liked him to like been at the carnival too, just so he
oh,
could.
that would have
oh
helped
yeah,
it for sure.
oh like you're.
Yeah,
You did
having
make a
him a little
stupid
more
wish.
involved would be nice. I agree with that.
Yeah, because I mean,
I don't know, just-
they're good friends. He's 100% supportive after we sing the song that we sang last night, I guess. But the real question is, out of all the many resourceful things Billy is capable of, the number one has to be, and I would not know how to do this now in today's age, find an arcade machine. I wouldn't know how to find that
No, but 100%.
I don't
in the carnival circuit.
That's
and
maybe
he
an-
went to some type of administrative office. He's like, I'll fill out the paperwork.
Public
and we'll get
records.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm 30.
I'm 34.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
don't
kept
know.
pretty tight track on carnies if we could. We had.
Where
I
did
don't
he
think
go?
that exists. I can find that Zoltan machine just in 6 weeks.
I
where
believe
thing's
that a
at.
magic machine can turn you 30 more than you could actually go to administrative office and find that machine. I don't believe that at all.
I'm on your side 100%.
Also,
That's baffling. And Billy knew where and how to go. What does he do? Does he have a
Consumers-
second family? Does he have an affair going
Stole
on
his
in the
dad's
city?
maybe
Also,
life savings.
I was thinking about it this time around. He works at a huge toy company, and he's now like the vice president of something. You don't have an inside track to track down a Zoltan machine, even if it's like a weird, mystical, crazy thing.
Yeah, he asked his secretary to give him the VHS.
That should have
tape
been an
to-
avenue that they took.
Yeah, he has an inside track in the toy industry. Maybe just
Yeah.
ask around.
That's a big misstep. So that toy company is big enough that their rivals or their competitors are Hasbro, Mattel,
Yeah.
Fisher Price, all these big names. So yeah, he just is now vice president of whatever manufacturer.
I made a note when I was watching this movie, like that'd be like me right now jumping to vice president, like my position.
Yeah.
And there is a Cameron Jones, funny enough, in that position. I get his mail all the time.
You got to be more aloof.
I do have a question about the whole job situation. One, obviously, it's fun for the viewer, right? Lots of things just happen correctly. Billy or Josh ran into the boss. We had some laughs. We had the FAO Schwartz or whatever they call it moment. But after all this is done, Josh goes back to being a kid and then grows up to be real life 30 Josh. He's going to be disappointed that he's not a vice president.
Oh, I was
Because
thinking that
there's
too.
no way he's going to be a vice president.
This is the best job he'll ever get, unfortunately, and he's gonna just end up having a shitty job for the rest of his
Dude, I
life.
wish there was
not
some
gonna get
magical
played with
ending where I know we're at the end right now, but I wish there was some ending where like Elizabeth Perkins somehow got Josh as the job, got Josh
like a
the
toy
job,
tester kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or something.
Oh,
Just
Kid Josh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, Kid Josh. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably best they don't stay in contact.
Yeah.
though, 'cause
Yeah.
Then
Although
she's
she
gonna have sex with-
does say, maybe you hit me up when you're 18 kind of thing. So
that number.
She said, "I do."
definitely having sex.
I agree with this, but let's assume she's about
He
30,
just has to wait
right?
5 more years.
Let's just
do the same.
ballpark her 25 to 35, right? Somewhere in that range.
Right.
She says, "Call me in 10 years." That'll make Josh 23, and that'll make her 43, and it's still creepy, lady.
Into it.
Definitely less
Lately.
statutory, but yeah, he might be into it too. Might be the only one. Whenever you guys want to talk about Josh and sex and her, I'm game.
We'll get there because first I want to talk about some of his purchases. And first off, what would you, if you just kid you, 13-year-old, what's the first thing you would buy with adult money?
Oh, I would have bought like a PlayStation or
Mine would have been more
64 or something.
game systems.
But he kind of did the same thing. He just did their
arcade. He
version
did,
of
yeah,
it.
arcade. He did the big.
He bought
Well,
arcade.
he made a smart move and picked a place to put all of that shit first, and it's
That's
a nice
true.
studio apartment.
Guys,
in,
I
like,
would not find
uptown.
a good apartment, or at least a spacious one.
Did he make that choice all by his own, or was that just
It seemed like Billy. It
That
seemed
was
like
Billy.
Billy.
Billy,
found
dude.
it.
Yeah, it was Billy again.
Billy again. He found it. What?
He's like, it's the spacious studio up on 93rd.
15-foot floors.
And it's
ceilings.
a steal.
Cedar. I'm talking cedar like you've never seen before, Josh.
Okay.
He's gonna have a great future in the real estate business eventually.
Yeah.
Billy. He's
I
gonna
mean,
got a
Billy
good eye.
unfortunately is
Died
gonna, he's gonna end up in prison
Yeah.
or dead. But
You don't
I
have a
do
haircut
lo-
and a cool jacket like that and not.
Like it might be even a sad death, like a motorcycle accident or something. He had
Still cool
problems.
though.
Yeah. Cool,
If you're
but he's
Billy, do you
not
want a
gonna
little
live.
sip of the Zoltan Kool-Aid? Like, maybe I should.
Yeah, I think it's actually. I would love to see what he wishes for.
You don't-
I bet it's
it's
not
just a
as
wish. It doesn't have
innocent.
to be
You know,
big.
I
Yeah,
will
you're
say
right.
this too. Like the Zoltan machine just works. It didn't necessarily monkey palm. He wished to be big. It did it. So what if I was just like, I want $1 million? Would it just deliver?
Ah, fuck, we gotta do this.
Or
again.
it doesn't seem. It doesn't actually seem like there's too much.
No,
of
it
a,
doesn't seem monkey posh, but it's
No, it just seems like he made a poor wish when he should have put more.
I also
hindsight
don't
into
get the vibe that works for everybody. It just worked for Billy.
That
And
makes
I
me
don't
want to
know.
have a
Sorry for
good wish
Josh.
ready for any time like a genie situation comes up or a magic lamp. Like I want to be ready. I don't want to make a dumb wish.
All my wishes are as just reactionary as Billy's.
You always
as
make
Josh's.
wishes very reactionary.
Yeah.
Anything I do, I was thinking immediately sounds like monkey posh. Like I want to come into money, someone's gonna die. I want to acquire a bunch of land, someone's gonna die. I'm just gonna acquire this like there's
I'm
someone
saying this
dying.
term monkey paw a lot.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm thinking
Okay.
though.
Okay, the real question is, you gonna waste your quarter on a Zoltan machine?
No,
There's way more at a carnival. Maybe if that was the only fucking machine in the game.
Hell yeah.
I did think of that. He had ticket money for a roller coaster, and his next best thing was just a waste. Just
Maybe
total.
it called him. You know.
All right. Well,
That's true.
here's a question for you guys. what are the best and worst carnival games?
All of them. They're all rigged.
I will tell you.
Well, the basketball hoop is definitely rigged.
I cannot see somebody.
Yeah, the bottle toss definitely rigged.
I think they're all rigged.
Son of a bitch, they're rigged. Those damn carnies.
Everything's rigged, but I cannot see somebody walking away with a prize from the basketball hoop to be like, I'll pay everything to get a basketball or a jersey. I'm going to make a 3-pointer. Like, that's just in me. It always has been as a kid. I'm like, I can make a 3-pointer. And I know it's rigged. It's like 11 feet.
See, where I have this is just like a total. I don't work out. My arm strength, my grip strength is gone. But those challenges, like, if you can hang on to this bar for 100 seconds, you get $100.
Nobody can do that.
And in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm the one. I can grip the fuck out of that bar. I can't. I cannot. I do not have grip strength. I'm not an American Ninja Warrior.
Before we get too far in the plot, I just want to say, what was the plan with the hotel? Like, why? It seemed they were like really close to the Brooklyn Bridge. Excuse me, Brooklyn Bridge. Like, why did they have to go all the way into like this scurvy part of Queens?
So I did think about this. Say they don't know actually how to get there. Maybe he's like, I take the train into blank, but that just drops you off at like Union Station.
Sure.
And you're just kind of trapped there because you're a kid. One time I was with a friend before I even had a permit, and he had a school permit, and we're like, let's go to Cedar Rapids, which is the town, the city closest to us, Manchester, Iowa, where we all grew up.
Has its own movie.
But it just turned out all of us knew the general direction of how to get to Cedar Rapids, but we didn't know how to get to Lindale.
We only know how to get to Carmike Cinema.
Yeah, so we just ended up wherever we could. So I think it's like that. You kind of only know. I mean, Jesus, he got us bus tickets.
Or, I mean, I guess the public transportation is probably somewhat of the problem of why they went into the city, but they're already in the suburbs. Why not look for just a hotel in the
That's what I mean.
suburbs? Like, get a motel
At
there.
this point, Josh doesn't exist, so like you're there's no heat on you, really.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything other than find a motel in town, and I'm sure there is one in that suburb.
I was about to say stay at Billy's, but
It would. I'll tell you what. It would save a hell of a lot of trouble for
expensive.
Billy going into the city and skipping so much school if he could just stay in town.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they went to the city.
They're dumb, except for Billy.
No, Billy's on the level, for sure.
So should we just talk about the trampoline?
trampoline's pretty sick.
I'll talk about this whole apartment.
In theory,
It's dangerous.
a cool idea, but you're gonna go through one of those windows.
Yeah, that's a
wildly
HIPAA
dangerous.
violation. I guess you're right.
All of us have taken that weird bounce where you're just caught and you fling off the side of a trampoline. You're gonna get one.
That
of
was
those.
as a kid without adult weight and adult joints.
Although I did kind of notice if you watch it, they never go for a full jump. They get air between them and the tramp, but they never get a full jump. And I wouldn't want to either.
Just an officer on the beat in that district just thinks it's a bad. Oh, we got another one, Bill.
Although I
Calls it in.
assume that Billy just paid off anybody who questioned. Just paid him straight cash, homie.
How much?
So he only made $187 in his cubicle
Yeah.
job. So he had to have get a huge pay grade.
To afford
Yeah.
all
To
that
afford-
shit.
yeah, like
Which I was also
immediately?
thinking, did he fuck up and not set up any like fun for himself as a kid again?
Oh,
he should have
smart.
maybe cashed some of that
Invest.
out. Yeah, and then all of a
That's
sudden,
actually
then all of a
never
sudden he's
even
like a
thought of
13-year-old
that.
with like $200,000 just sitting
would've been
somewhere.
Fuck, that would have been
Huge.
huge. Invest in Apple.
You know what I'd
Doesn't
like
exist
to? I never thought of that. That's a great thought.
That's
Just
I
genius.
mean,
never did.
he at least still has a key to that apartment, so before he could at least
Ooh,
go
even
back
just, like,
in quick and get some of that shit out.
Listen, there's no way that Josh has any of that. But
No.
I guarantee Billy's got a couple arcade games in
He's
his
out.
basement, and he's sitting pretty. Like, he didn't let that go to waste. He's like, Jesus, Josh,
We
you
still have
fucking
the keys,
idiot.
man.
Yeah.
They fucking threw ragers.
We paid
like
this
middle
lease
school
for
ragers.
a year. Just because you disappeared doesn't mean we don't still have that apartment.
Yeah, dude. They fucking threw ragers in that part.
We paid a year lease, cash.
That'd be
this
great.
is our apartment.
That'd be so sick.
I mean, okay, I did wonder this. People at work, Josh's coworkers and Josh's soon-to-be girlfriend Susan, they see Josh hanging around with this redheaded teenager. Never question it.
No.
Never bring it up. His secretary's like, I guess he knows him.
Well, I mean, just even the way he's acting, you would at least think he maybe is like on the spectrum or has like some sort
Yeah.
of like learning disability.
Correct.
Why would like?
Yeah, he's either on the spectrum or was raised in a cult or super religious or homeschooled. You definitely wouldn't get promotions as a girlfriend. Like, you just wouldn't.
I do love the chemistry though between Mr. MacMillen and him. Just like how he sees his youthful charm.
Yeah, but there's also a reason why he's not Mattel and
True.
because he's making terrible decisions like this. He
used to be.
He put like his number 2 man is the guy that ran full speed into him like in the hallway like a week ago.
Honestly, Paul is right. Like, yeah, he said, he said fucking bug in the meeting.
Just because Paul's an asshole doesn't mean he's not right.
Yeah.
Also,
Paul's an asshole, but he is in the right.
Yeah, on everything. And I hate to do this. So I think it's unnecessary how they wrote Susan's character.
well, yeah, I want to talk about that
But
too.
Paul should be pissed at her.
Because it seems like they're in a relationship, and she totally just.
I think Susan's a bad person.
Well, it also does seem like they talk about how she jumped from man to man, and kind of seems like she
doesn't
worked
know
her way
what she
up.
wants. Let's not drag on Susan.
I am going to drag on Susan, but we can blame it on whoever wrote the screenplay.
Well, and just it's mostly on age. It's just like I just didn't pick up on that as much as a kid. Where now I'm like, oh, it seems like she was sleeping her way to the top, and now she has a terrible judge on this man's character because he's a child.
But she's just read every time wrong.
She ever come back after this, or is she pretty just weird? She's just destroyed.
I doubt this is the first type of this situation Susan's been in.
Just catfished again.
That is catfishing. She did admit to it though to Paul. Yes, I was sleeping up my way, but not anymore. This is different, even though it's exactly the same.
And how could you bring up Berman and Smith and Johnston?
Hey, was any of those John Lovett's character? Which again, just a
Who
gem.
can say?
Just
Well,
a real
maybe.
goddamn.
Let's just
gem.
say yeah for fun.
Hey, you want us all to get
No, it
fired? In that moment right there, I was pissed that John Lovitz did not. If I had a time machine, get him in Office Space. Get him in a cubicle. Get him somewhere.
What's
You can watch
funny
the whole
about
thing.
that is like Josh just typed in just a couple things. And he's like,
slow down.
Hey, buddy.
He just typed in a name.
He just turned on the computer. He's like, "What's she trying to do here?"
It sounds
You
like a
know,
pretty
though?
cushy job. I guess I kind of have.
Not a bad job. Not a bad job at all.
I want to talk about this. So,
Oh, sorry though. I want to end on how we think that Susan's. I do think she's a bad person in character.
Tough.
yeah, but I think this might finally be the moment she's like, I should reevaluate some things. I think this was maybe the thing that really, maybe this wasn't like a whole Zoltan thing for him. It was really to get her life on track.
Yes.
This wasn't about
Oh,
that.
Zoltan was like she made a wish earlier.
Yeah.
Zoltan. I'm just sorry if this annoys you, but you know.
Yeah, we try.
I was saying Zoltar for the first 5 times, so it's all right.
I'm sorry, guys.
This is a bit of an animosity I have. You don't have to go to every event. You don't have to go to every work party. If you get invited to handball on lunch, you can say no. He's going to every event that is offered to him.
He doesn't know the rapport, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean,
Also,
try to
was
keep
that
a little.
workday lunch racquetball game.
Sure was.
Not cool.
Also, I would be. Yeah, I guess you're right, Cameron. If it's 6 weeks and you know that, I'd be like, fuck, I gotta lay low somewhere for 6 weeks, not do get a job. Are you fucking kidding me? Hell no. No.
This is my real life. I am 30 years old, and I've turned down so many promotions because I'm like, oh god, that seems like there's going to be a lot of heat on me, and I would like to stay under the radar.
What would you have done at 13? I bet if you put maybe not 13-year-old you, I'm talking specifically you, 10-year-old you would be way more successful than you are now because you were way harder.
You got the grind, right?
You got the grind. You got the eagerness to do stuff.
Yeah.
But now you know that all sucks.
I think I gained that in my 20s. I don't know if that's true.
Think about all the type of people you've ever worked with in your life. The ones that are tryhards are annoying. You're like, God, this person just doesn't get it.
Yeah, dude. If you were 7 right now, you'd be like a multimillionaire.
Yeah. You probably get promoted really quick because you just were eager to do your job.
Okay, sure, I'll do that.
Billy was going to get fired quick, but he fucking would have played the game. Billy might actually be getting unemployment checks.
Oh, actually, this was a question. Do you think there's still an unsolved mystery on not Billy, but
What the fuck happened to Josh?
yeah, what
Adult Josh?
The unsolved mystery on Josh Baskins. He jumped in. He went from a opening position all the way to vice president in 6 weeks, and then disappeared, never to be seen
New
again.
York City mogul goes missing.
Yeah, literally in almost 2 months, he went from nothing to vice president and disappeared.
He really created a wave, didn't he?
I believe everybody in that. I think there's a lot of vice presidents. I don't think he was number 2 in command, but he did rise.
He
His
destroyed
apartment-
lives, is what
his
he did.
apartment-
He destroyed
but-
lives. Zoltan destroyed lives.
His apartment was fully furnished with child's playthings, which begs the question: what was Mr. Baskins doing?
His apartment should have been the biggest red flag to her, which she's like,
Yeah.
red flag, but he's showing me attention, and he's promoted, and he's a VP.
Yeah,
It brought out her inner child.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried
Yes.
about.
I mean, hopefully.
Okay, so what are you furnishing your...
I'd get
You
a
ready to
real
talk about
bed.
this?
At most, I'd get
real bed for sure.
I wouldn't. I just couldn't sleep on that. Even
With those,
Maybe a
with those
partition.
ceilings, you're going to get a real basketball hoop. That's
oh,
for sure.
I would have for sure had a basketball
hoop.
hoop.
He had one.
I probably wouldn't have trampoline, video games,
Skateboard for me, probably skating
Skateboard
around.
ramp.
I,
He had that.
I gotta be honest. At 13, I would have had a hot tub inside that bitch.
Oh, really? You think so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm coming
I mean,
over
I would definitely
all
have
the
one
time.
now. I don't know if I would have had
Dig the pop machine.
Oh yeah, having that set for just free pop. That's ingenious.
One of the
Good idea.
reasons I would have liked to see the Billy version of this, we missed out on a drinking situation. I get it was a PG movie, but wouldn't that have been a little fun to see him and Billy tear it up?
He does talk about it at one point. He's like,
Or a strip
you
club
go
or
buy his
something."
beer and blah blah blah. But he's like, I'm busy. I'm an adult now. It's been 4 weeks.
Yeah, at 4 weeks and 2 days, he became an adult, and it all just the weight got to him quick.
Jordan, he was making a lot of money,
It's true. It's
and
true.
he just left it. Yeah, it really bugs me thinking about it nowadays.
At that job, I don't even know how it works when you just get offered a job like that, but he probably has stock options as well that
Oh,
maybe by the time he actually turns 30.
I had working in fast food. I was there for 5 years, and I had stock.
I know, but he had like real stock.
That's what I'm
options,
saying. Like I had stock.
like bonus and stuff like that. I would have a hot tub. Would have done a hot tub for sure.
hot tub is a great move.
Probably a pool table.
Like a pool table. That's nice. A little
just
fancy,
would have,
but it's nice.
even though I'm not a big pool guy, would have done.
Shuffleboard.
That's something I didn't learn about until I went to bars. Didn't know shuffleboard existed as a
No,
kid.
it
Yeah,
exists.
I mean, I knew it did on cruise ships.
You
and,
would
like,
have
a
had
big
a you would have had a mini golf sitch going on. Like
Yeah.
a couple more
I-
putting.
I-
Maybe
well-
actually just a simulator.
Well, I was thinking some sort of makeshift
simulator.
bowling,
Yeah.
some sort of bowling thing, maybe. But like,
Maybe
it'd
bowling.
be hard to
Maybe-
maybe get that in though.
Actually,
like,
with that much
bowling.
space, you have a little go kart.
You guys ever heard of
I
duck
was thinking go kart, but I went skateboard just to keep it,
Yeah.
safer.
So I guess since he lived in the city, the whole drive-in situation never came up. But he couldn't drive. Obviously.
Didn't have to. Yeah, he's in the city, so that we get around that. I did have a question.
What's the biggest red flag for Susan that this is? Maybe if
Someone
not
said
a-
the room. That's a good one.
What's that?
Someone said the room. That was a good one.
Yeah, just initially her coming up to the apartment.
Just the apartment.
Oh yeah, that's right there. She's like, oh no, I'm not gonna make it out of here.
Well, just his naivete is just almost annoying to like.
Well, to me it is for sure.
yeah, so like I feel
I'm
like
actually Team
The
Paul.
goddamn limo ride. Like how she still
Oh
wanna fuck
yeah,
this guy.
that part's almost unforgivable. Actually, the way to I would never would have got to the apartment.
Even
I
that
would,
night too, like when he jumps on the top bunk and she's still just like, I like this guy. Like, what are we doing here, Susan?
Again, I think it's because she was a bad person. She was chasing a job. Oh, do you know what the most teenage thing Josh does?
What's that?
It's the double triple dip when he's in the office party. It's not the mini corn. That's
Oh, that
funny
he
and
keeps
impressive.
dipping the thing back in.
He likes something and he dips it and he dips it and he dips it back. That actually, I'm like, well, that's it. He doesn't seem like he's 7. He actually seems like an asshole 13-year-old.
I did think about that funny, though.
Like that one really played for me too. I love The Boss. That's just a trickle down, trickle up, like wherever we're putting him. Good guy.
Let's just get into the FAO Schwartz scene then, because like that's such a wholesome scene. Maybe one of the most classic.
I think that as
Movie
far as
scenes.
our lifetime, it's one of the most iconic visual iconography of movies.
Yeah.
It's with the feeling I wanted to have watching Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, but it had none of that. Do you remember that with?
I mean, take a drink if you if you're playing along at home. That Cameron finally mentioned Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
starring Dustin Hoffman, Mr. Megorium's Wonder
I believe
Emporium.
Natalie Portman's
I believe
in it
so
as well.
too. Seemed like it was going to be
Oscar winners Natalie Portman and Dustin Hoffman.
Seemed like it was going to be whimsical and fun, based off a best-selling child's book, and it was lackluster.
Oh well, we're on that. The Brothers Grimm seemed like it had it all. In it.
Oh, how many times can we talk about this?
No, that actually is take a drink.
I've been to that FAO Schwartz.
I have been to the FAO Schwartz.
Yeah, that
That
store's fucking magical.
I think I have a picture on my phone. And
Oh,
you can buy
this
that
is a
piano for like
this is a trickle down on
$300,000.
Oh, sorry. This
$300,000 that cannot be a real number.
Yeah, I think it sold
That's
to some
just a
music
wildly high number.
music teacher in Idaho in 2015. I just looked it up. Come at us. Let us know if I'm right or wrong. I think I was in New York.
Wait, the actual one?
it's got to be. Otherwise, why that
Or is it
technology is
just
not worth
a
that much
one?
money?
So when I went there, it seemed like the actual one. It was roped off. It had a price tag. I'm like, oh, Jesus, that's a lot. But then I looked at everything. I'm like, oh, Jesus, that's a lot. But I do believe they had the Zoltan machine in there.
Which brings a trickle up.
So I don't know, but I think it sold for $300,000.
That thing is so iconic that they have to rope it off. Like that thing
Yeah.
is just going to be annoying if you let people get to that.
It's going to wear out and die immediately too. You can't just keep
if
people
it
trying to
literally
recreate
is
the
the
movie.
one from the film, it's priceless.
Talking about those old time machines, trickled down on Verified. Those were not a real machine before the movie, but it was just kind of taken from old-timey carnival gimmicks of fortune tellers like that. But after the movie, they did make old-time machines to go to just places around the country. But some of them were made, the prop wheels, how you had to put the coin in its mouth? Mm-hmm. The coin, none of them actually had a coin function. Some of them did have those spinning wheels, but it didn't actually matter. You just put in a coin and got a wish. So they kind of just made for the movie's old time.
That's still fun though, I guess.
Yeah, you still get to try. So it seems like Josh and his family live in a full-size house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he sharing a bedroom with his baby sister? One, shouldn't that either be with the parents?
Wait, is he?
Yeah, the baby's in his room.
I thought the baby was
No,
in...
he kicks it out to her, doesn't he?
No, but why is it in there at all? He's sharing a room with a baby. It's a full-size house.
I think the baby's in the parents' room. When he runs in to get change and get to his dad's clothes, that's where the baby's at.
At the beginning of the movie,
because his dad's goofy, he doesn't get promotions, and he can only afford a 2-bedroom house.
Well, at the beginning of the movie, when he's talking to Billy on the walkie-talkie, his mom comes in and also checks on the baby. It's in his room.
Oh.
I don't know.
Why wouldn't it be with the parents or in a nursery? They have a full-size house, and there's only a few of them.
Because sleeping with a baby sucks. And the parents know that. Put it in Joshy's room.
Little
Joshy. That's kind of the last thing
I do got to say, though, Josh, I've been thinking about this. He's annoying as a 13-year-old, too. He's too naive.
Yeah.
There's a good chance he believes in Santa Claus a year before this. He's one of those kids, I think.
There's a chance he still believes in Santa Claus going back to 13.
That's true.
I know what a woman feels like, but Santa's going to be great this year.
At this point, though, sweet, we're going to get to talk about what a woman feels like. We do have to talk about that. It's such a big pivotal point in the movie. But after the Zoltan, I mean, maybe Santa does exist.
That's actually true. Maybe this did open up a whole bunch of possibilities.
So I know this is in the fantasy category, and we just got to accept magic exists and it happened. But how's life exists after this for everybody?
Real weird for the mom because she thinks her son was just abducted and lived somewhere for 6 weeks.
Nothing changes for the mom. She's pretty traumatized.
No, a lot changes for the mom. She's pretty fucked up.
I just mean like nothing. She.
Oh, right. As far as the magical world
she
goes,
has no closure.
No,
yeah.
she doesn't. No, she just assumes that her kid got abducted, probably molested.
Billy still gets a coke addiction and gets arrested for selling black market weapons.
Billy's definitely going to get expelled from high school because he was in the city doing.
He didn't make it through middle school because he skipped 6 weeks to go hang out with Billy.
Great chance if I'm following the timeline correctly. Good chance Billy ends up in the Foot Clan, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like under sewer Foot Clan.
Does New York have squatters laws? Because he's going to be at the department for a while.
I mean, he signed a 4-year lease, paid straight cash, homie.
Yeah, Billy's like, yeah, we're going to keep this for a while.
I may have misunderstood this.
What are you searching over there?
Sorry, just my apologies. I don't even know how that happened.
$3,000 pianos, $300.
That might be what it was. Okay, I lost track of thought, but I do want to talk about Josh having sex with Susan.
Right.
Do we know that to be true?
Yeah, or they just touched
heavily
boobs for a long
implied.
time.
I'll say that, but
okay, you're right. So let's assume. All my question is, what's going on with Susan that this is all okay? Let's assume they don't have sex and Josh just feels her up. That's weird.
Yeah.
And she still falls in love with him.
Are you trying to say that Tom Hanks is not an attractive 30-year-old?
No, I'm saying he is just average to a little above average attractive 30-year-old.
Okay.
But he's a sheltered, weird fucking weirdo. So
his job. She likes that.
If we cut to a scene between Susan and her girlfriend or Susan and her friend or something, she'll be like, so what happened with you and Josh? She's like, well, felt my boobs for 45 minutes over my bra. Like,
kissed me real weird over the lip and everything, just like really engulf my mouth. And
Josh had never had a kiss before.
Yeah.
If Josh has never had a kiss and it's the 80s, he might not have.
Yeah, he didn't get past first base.
He may have seen just Playboys. Like he's never seen a vagina.
No,
and that's just gonna throw him for a loop.
He touched a tit, he cummed in his pants, and that was that. He woke up just like saying hi to everybody at work the next day. Hey, how you doing? He started drinking fucking coffee.
That'd be great if he just he's like, oh. And then that was it.
That could have easily happened in this movie. Like
I don't know.
A premature ejaculation. Like, yeah, that could have happened.
I assume that maybe was the night. But I also had the thought, I imagine it just going to like 30-year-old Tom Hanks. It's also he's never trimmed his pubes before, so it's just like he can't even find his shit.
I don't think people in the 80s trimmed their pubes.
But like I'm saying from like Josh to Josh, he had never trimmed his pubes. So it just came like Jumanji style. Like
whatever happened between Josh and Susan wasn't normal, wasn't typical 30-year-old on 30-year-old action.
No, if I had to guess, just knowing Susan, and I do, they took a 6-month break and then hooked back up.
Yeah, she's like,
In the apartment, I mean.
he is still a vice president.
He's in there.
But, she was going out with Paul, right?
Yeah.
They were in an actual relationship.
It does seem so at the beginning
they,
of the movie.
They made it too privy to the audience until really that breakup scene.
It
It just
wasn't
felt like work partners.
They carpooled every morning, but I wasn't sure if that was just a carpool situation until he talked about essentially that you're leaving me.
It wasn't until like she's like, I want the keys. I was like, oh.
Okay. So okay.
I'm not on Team Paul, but I'm definitely not on
speed.
Team Susan either. They're both bad people, I think. And it just shows you how the boss is such a bad judge of character.
Paul just has a bad home life. He's just taking it out of people at work. He's in the right. Paul,
No, all of Paul's intuitions are 100% correct. That guy is gaining for your job. Oh, this is a trickle-down question. Would have loved to see it. There is somewhere around the end of the 6 weeks that Josh starts dressing like an adult, and we missed a shopping montage.
Unless, a great shopping montage.
Unless just probably what happened was Billy ordered him a bunch of suits because he knew
for some reason, like they play Footloose.
No, by that point,
Yeah.
Billy's on the outs. That's when Susan comes in, and Susan's
true.
taking over. That's why the fashion's getting so much better. An adult is doing the
She's
shopping
like, you
now.
seem like a 13-year-old, at least homeschooled, but we're going to buy you some suits. And it's not my problem anymore. You're an adult.
It's kind of a melancholy ending. Just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just like, I just.
Oh, actually, I do
Okay.
have one pretty big animosity. I get that he is a 13-year-old, but like, don't walk out on the presentation. You maybe had to do like 15, 20 more minutes of talking, and like Zoltan's still going to be like, there was really no rush at that point. You just know where it's located all the time.
What happens to MacMillen after this? Is Paul in, or is Susan
I don't know.
in?
I don't know if you ever heard of that toy company, Mark. Pretty sure they went under because they were pretty much like ripping off
MacMillen's. It sounds like a red, ruby red ale. MacMillen.
Grab
Sounds
me a
good.
McMillions. But it's more, it's definitely at a micro brew, like a brewery. This is my red ale. We make it here. It's called McMillions.
I'm MacMillen.
Paul just still does the job. Susan starts going back out with Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to dislike her, but
You know,
they wrote. Watching it as an adult, they made her character unnecessarily bad.
Yeah.
And in a kids movie.
Well, actually, also going back to that, MacMillen, as we said, is a bad judge of character. So I do think Susan did come back the next day and like, so my comic book idea. So actually, Susan might be doing pretty
You
well.
think he's a bad judge of character? I don't think so. I think he.
I mean, he was actually kind of right because it would take a kid to know a kid.
That's
and
what I mean. I think he had a great judge.
He saw the inner spark. He's like, there it is. There's a
Even just
kinship
during
with him.
This man's simple enough to work.
I was saying more of like all the people surrounding him.
I will say maybe VP is a little drastic.
Seems like a stretch from the cubicle to VP.
I mean-
and this is with no identity. Paul's like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
And it seems like he's dumb enough that you could just still get all the ideas out of him and not pay,
All
pay
it
him
took
anything.
was one comment about the old stick hockey game, and he's like, "Huh, never thought of that." When it's like the most obvious thing to think.
Oh,
about.
we
Like, the
changed it
players
because
don't
it
move.
was so much cheaper not to make the move anymore.
One last, just huge nitpick. This is along the lines of Cameron's budging from the beginning of the movie. Sure. During the conversation, when Susan's like, "What are we doing here?" It's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Susan? We've dated twice, and we've maybe touched boobs once."
Yeah, at 13,
Like,
I know enough to be like, Susan, calm down.
Jesus, like,
We're talking.
slow the brakes. But
And
that's
also,
not-
like, what do you mean? We're working on the presentation. Like, right now,
Yeah.
we're really busy.
where did this come from, Susan? So that's not even the nitpicky part. That's just the funny part.
Well, I've just been seeing a lot of red flags, and it seems kind of like you're acting like a child, so.
That's not even what she was just,
But do you like me?
do you like me? It's like, yeah, I guess. Do I get to see your boobs? She's like, oh, yeah. He's like, then I like you. No, that's not the nitpicky thing. Do you notice what they're having during that brainstorm meeting? Pizza Hut. Mm-hmm. Love the product.
Old box.
placement.
Love the old box,
Love
yeah.
the old box.
But now we have the new box. Now the
new old box.
The new old box. So yeah, they're coming back. Everything's reciprocal.
recycling.
Reciprocal. But anyway, here's the big nitpick. The Pizza Hut, the box, love it. I hate that she's drinking red wine with it.
I did think that too. It is
Hate
Italian.
it so much.
Yeah, little
It
pasta.
isn't Italian.
You got
It's
Italian. You
Pizza
got
Hut.
some red wine.
I will say, like,
Was that what people
when
did in the
Josh
80s?
starts even getting his job, they're like, "Hey, do you smoke? If you do, do it." In
just in the break
Susan's
room.
always smoking like dirt. So it's just different times.
Times are different.
Is
And
that
also,
a New York thing where Pizza Hut and red
well,
wine goes?
You're
Maybe it
dating.
pairs.
You're dating. You have a couple drinks. You keep it casual. You gonna drink scotch and a pizza?
You didn't know a Chianti
I guess
pairs with a
just a
nice
beer.
Pizza
thick,
Hut,
thick
though.
crust
It's Pizza Hut.
You're right. Maybe a nice Chianti. Let's move it on to recasting.
Recasting. So welcome to recasting. We're just gonna squeak through the mom and John Lovitz.
Squeak right. Pat, let me get right past you.
Mine's mainly the mom. I just did Marissa Tomei now.
Okay.
And I did it because of the Spider-Man movies. She's Aunt May.
Interestingly enough, I did actually think about that. I went.
Wasn't inspired by that.
I went Tracy Reiner. I took it from League of Their Own. She plays Betty.
Spaghetti.
She's actually funny enough in this movie. She just plays a marketing one of the market
somebody
research.
in there?
Market research. So she's just in one of the meetings, I think.
I didn't have anybody, but just off the bat, like a Mary Steinbergen.
Really,
Yeah.
you just need
I
somebody
thought
with a
you
perm?
need that style. Yeah, you need curlier
You just
80s
need a
hair
perm.
in the right
And
age.
yeah, that's where I was going, I guess.
You need a perm and I
did-
assume a cardigan and sweatpants.
Anybody have cubicle mate Scotty Brennan?
Even though I think this is incredibly hard to recast,
John Lovitz.
there's only one guy that I could see be that annoying cube guy and just nail it in the same way. It's Andy Dick.
Oh no.
Were you trying to get us fired?
Yeah,
Like, just
it would be a funnier little part.
little role. I absolutely, I'll say it again, love John Lovitz in these small amount roles. I mean, the best is probably
City Slickers.
Because you're just saying it's
That's
John
a real
Lovitz.
role. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's in a real role.
That might be too much.
Too much?
Of him, you know what I mean? I like it in this shorter periods.
Did you have a Brennan, Cameron?
Off the top of my head, Ari from from Entourage. Give me a name. The real actor.
Oh, Jeremy Piven.
This one might be.
I actually had him somewhere else.
So mine might be controversial, but I'm going Jeremy Piven. I'm not sure if he might have been in trouble at some point, but he plays at least that kind of annoying coworker, so he could kind of be just like, hey, what do you know of that guy? Hey, slow it
For
down,
some
buddy.
reason, so mine's Rick Ducommun only because he says a line in there that's like, hey, what do you? I can just see Rick Ducommun. That's why.
Yeah, you got to be somewhat like it would change it, but he's annoying, and he can be annoying as that.
And kudos to Rick Ducommun. He comes up a lot of the podcast.
R.I.P.
Go back and see both of our versions of Burbs, or at least the newest one.
Well, compare and contrast, just to see how far we've come.
Let's do Paul.
So I'm actually going to start this, and I'm surprised Cameron did it.
What?
I hope Cameron.
I'm doing Michael McKean because it's a
Okay.
lookalike and it's an attitude. He definitely plays the disgruntled, just like
You can't go wrong with that. He shows up in a lot of things like that. That's good. I actually did do Jeremy Piven there.
Oh, interesting. Well, funny enough, I didn't.
That's more of a Jeremy Piven role, I would say.
And I do apologize to everybody out there. I understand he's an asshole and he's done bad things, but that's who I'm casting.
Oh, really? Is he canceled?
Somewhat.
something
or
or was or yeah, I'm not too sure actually on his status there.
He's not the most canceled, but he definitely is.
Funny enough, that's why I quickly put him in that John Lovitz role because I thought about him there, but I was like, oh, he could
I
work.
like Michael McKean.
Yeah, it's a lookalike and just he does that role a lot. It works great.
I think I've got the winner here, David Duchovny.
California Cation.
I just saw.
Yeah, what did we just watch him in?
Beethoven,
Oh,
and
he's
he
in
plays the
Beethoven.
same Paul
he really?
role in that.
He's in Beethoven?
He's the bad guy trying to. Well, he's one of like three
No,
bad
He's
guys.
like a bad
in that.
business guy.
Yeah,
No
he's trying to get a
way.
bad
I
guy.
haven't seen
David
Beethoven.
Duchovny. He would
If
play
you
that
remember
role
from the credits, he's
perfectly.
the one getting dragged by Beethoven in like a chair.
I don't even remember it.
Across
I
the
know there's
neighborhood.
a
It's a great
bad
scene.
guy.
I know it very well. We just
Okay.
watched it last weekend.
Good movie. Macmillan. MacMillen.
Okay. Let me say my throwaway one. It's were people thinking Christopher Plummer because we've done him before, and he can do that stern and likable.
Nope.
Oh, okay, interesting.
1, 2, 3. De Niro.
Gene Hackman.
Okay.
Okay. I did think Gene
Hackman can play warm. I know he plays stern a lot of the times, but his warm part's good too.
in a slight kind of more similar look.
It's a look likes. I often fall into look
No,
likes.
I honestly was thinking
easy to do.
Hear me out. What about this? This is a
I did
little
De Niro.
This is funny enough. He is in recasting for somewhere else.
I like De Niro.
Hear me
though.
out. This might be a little too harsh, but I thought Robert Duvall.
Nah, I've never seen him play warm.
I think I like Gene Wilder the best.
Yeah, I do too.
It's a lot looks like so in similar mannerisms.
You think I don't see the looks like.
It's not looks, but they have some similar thing.
Jordan, you don't see a little light in Robert Duvall's eyes right there? Look at him. He looks like he could also be like, hey.
Yeah, he's watching a fucking cat fall from a tree or something. Like he's not watching anything good.
It'd have to be him at that age, right? Though. Like,
oh yeah, it has to be
that's
like
a
him
great
now.
Robert Duvall.
I'm actually surprised nobody did this because I thought about doing this, just doing the Mr. Duncan from Home Alone 2, since it's kind of similar.
I did actually think about that.
2 on the nose.
Let's go to young Josh. I have chalk.
Can we do Josh and Billy? Then can we do Billy next?
Yeah, sure.
I'll go last because I did a grouping.
I'll start.
I did a pair.
I've got as
You're
chalk
saying
as it
can
gets.
you do Josh and Billy at the same time?
Yeah, but I'll go last. I have a pair.
Well, I
Okay.
don't have a pair
Well,
that goes together. My young
I have
Josh.
a chalk.
Go ahead.
Josh.
Who you got?
It's a Fred Savage.
Okay.
And then paired up with Danny Tamborelli.
Definitely put Danny Tamborelli
That
there.
makes sense.
Not who I ended up with, but definitely put him there.
Yeah.
I have a 3 for Billy. Danny Tamborelli is 1. My Josh is chalk because it's the exact same role in Goonies. It's young Sean Astin.
Okay. Yeah.
It just is the same role.
I'm cool with that. I did Thomas Ian Nicholas. He's the young kid from Rookie of the Year, and I just teamed it up with Patrick LeBrecq, who is the like blonde kind of goonish friend
Is
of
that
his.
Buzz?
Similar
Buzz?
similar vibe.
Woof.
I don't even. Who is that guy?
He's the other kid in Rookie of the Year. That's like not the little friend with long hair.
Oh, okay.
That's
He's
why
the bad guy in Rookie of the Year.
No, he's the good guy. He's the friend. He has 2 friends. That's
Oh,
one of the 2
yeah. Okay,
friends.
I
He's
got you.
look-based.
It's
I
him
gotcha.
and one other kid on the boat with Rookie of the Year.
You just picked a picture of him that was like 7 years older than I've ever seen him.
Couldn't find I even looked up.
So I'm like,
You just Getty imaged him.
I typed in his name and Rookie of the Year and heavyweights. He's also in heavyweights, and they just had far away shots that were blurry as fuck, so I couldn't like get anything that you guys would see. So this is the best shot
it's
of his
his
face.
blonde friend in Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's the blonde friend in Rookie of the Year. He's also in heavyweights. Similar kind of crass, loud guy. It works.
So
It works.
I thought you were gonna do.
And let me just put this here. I did think it was the kid from Salute Your Shorts, the
Yes.
old Disney show. What's the character's name? Something Nick?
Buttnick.
Buttnick. I thought it was Buttnick from Salute Your Shorts. It's not. So really, Buttnick goes there.
Yeah, his name is Danny Cooksey, who I actually thought it was too before I rewatched this. He's also in Terminator 2 right at the beginning.
Yep.
He's John Connor's friend. But I went with, again, I went just about as chalk as anybody. I stuck in the Goonies. I went Corey Feldman, that version.
I thought about Corey Feldman, but just
it's the
because
same thing.
because we got done with the Burbs, I just didn't want to do it so soon.
Yeah, I thought about it too. So it wasn't inspired, and I feel bad about it.
All right, we have the 2 stars now. We have Susan and Josh. Let's do Susan first.
Can I go because I feel
Go
like
first.
Just did looks like chalk.
Sure.
I did Deborah Mezin,
Okay.
Will and Grace,
Will and Grace.
and Will and Grace.
Yeah, but I'm cool with that.
She's-
Don't hate that at all.
It's a similar.
Cameron, how confident do you feel? 1 to 10.
Okay.
How 1 to 10? Just give me a number.
Like a 7.
Okay, I'm a 6, so you go first.
I was like 4.
Christy Alley.
nice.
Around the time it would have worked out. She was also just
Look
very
who's
attractive
talking.
at the time. Yeah, she was just right in kind of her prime too. So I think it would have worked out date wise.
I would have liked that better. She actually feels like she could have been on.
Heart crass businesswoman. Yeah.
Elizabeth Perkins was also on Weeds for a little bit with this actress, Mary Louise Parker.
I don't know her enough.
It's very looks based.
Yeah, that's
Very
how all
similar
mine been.
looking actress.
I thought about Julia Louis Dreyfus also, but maybe a little too young. I'm not too sure. I don't know.
I
Something-
like
you
that.
could have put
I like that a
Winona
lot.
Ryder in there. You could have put Susan Sarandon in
I
there.
think
you
you
could have
could
put
have put a lot of
Sigourney
people.
Weaver in there.
So yeah, I did think of Sigourney Weaver, but I feel like any frizzy-haired woman, I'm like, but let's put Sigourney
Yeah,
Weaver in
I
there.
kind of do that too a little bit.
Josh, this.
Oh,
stuff.
do you want to hear one modern one I thought of maybe? Kristen Wiig.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it'd be like a Secret Life of Walter Mitty-ish vibe, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
that's
wouldn't
the closest
be
I've seen her
comedic
do that
from her.
character.
Well, like there would be some little like
Yeah, she might give
playful
it a little
parts,
something.
but
We're up to the main character now. You guys ready for Big Josh?
Can I go first? Because I'm not good.
Yeah.
Mine is completely recency biased. It's Jason Sudeikis, and it's because of Ted Lasso.
Okay. You know what though? He actually does play a good childish,
Yeah.
whimsical, but still that actually I like that a lot actually.
I think he could do it. I don't think anybody's gonna recreate what Tom Hanks did.
No.
And I don't think of that about every Tom Hanks role, but this one is just so quintessentially him.
I really like mine.
Jason Sudeikis could play like that. Yeah, I mean, he does, like you're saying, in Ted Lasso, like play that playful.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's why
I actually
did it.
like yours a lot.
Nice.
Great. Pick.
Mine can definitely do it. Robin Williams. I mean, it's not necessarily like a Jack performance, but
I'm
he
gonna
can
hop right on your back. I'm gonna leech onto you. That's
he's
who I
doing
had too. Yeah.
he can do that.
Jack, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One, he was up for this role at one point. I just do know that, and I did see that after. But I
He
did
was up for the role.
Yeah, at one
Yep.
point. But I forget what else he was doing at this point. But I mean, he can play that fun, whimsical thing. It never gets too serious, but it'd be fun. It'd be
Here's
fun.
why
Yeah,
I don't.
that'd be so good.
Here's why
he's the only one I think who could do it justice like Tom Hanks does it. Like that, I could see Big being like the same classic it is, just with Robin.
I
you know what
agree.
I mean?
I agree with that. I mean, just it's not even that we know he can do serious acting. It's just we know that he can play this.
Can I
in a fun,
play
lighthearted
devil's
way?
advocate here, though?
Jason Sudeikis Big would be like a new reboot.
Yeah, I do like that
It
though.
wouldn't be
Mine
the
is
Ridge.
100% a reboot. It's
Rob-
not the same classic.
Robin Williams
and that's
could,
why I didn't feel good.
Robin
about it.
Williams could still be a classic, but I feel like he would still be able to tone it down without being over the top. It's still being lighthearted and
He
fun.
can still
with
tone it down. The only thing that I've never seen Robin Williams really do, and I wonder this, can he play the romantic-ish lead? Can you see him get in like Susan? And I don't know if you need
I feel like
that. in
Robin
the movie.
Williams
Yeah, but it
started a
never-
little older, no, and then like Tom Hanks, like I don't know, maybe just has more boyish features. I don't know. I think that sounds kind of odd, but
To your guys' point, I don't want it to be full blown genie.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You gotta tone it
it's
down.
a toned down version.
no. Yeah.
But the toned down version that he does so well is great.
Do you want to move on to the long list of what ifs?
Yeah, this is so deep. This must have been
Cameron, just read it off.
I do have a few, only two facts. Robert De Niro was up for it, but he wanted too much money and they couldn't afford
For
him.
what?
for Josh.
For Josh, these
Odd.
These are all for Josh. I'm about to go through.
They were going to offer him $2 million, and he wanted $6 million. And I cannot
he'd be
see
such a
Robert
good
De Niro.
MacMillen.
Yeah, he could not be a Josh
No.
in any way. Because even at this time in 1988, he was probably like 40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have been too old.
Yeah, I thought that too.
And
big.
and too De Niro.
But he's
Yeah.
big, dude.
He is giant. Yeah,
John
we're not
Travolta,
just-
Penny Marshall actually wanted John Travolta for this, but the studio said, "quote He's poison."
So I get where
This
they
was
come from.
this was in a not good time for
Whoa.
John Travolta's
I
career.
don't hate that.
Yeah,
I don't hate that.
neither do I necessarily.
I don't either.
Harrison Ford, he was not interested, but they wanted him. Robin Williams was in talks, but he ended up doing something else. I forget what movie came out around that time. Dennis Quaid was up for it. He was somewhat interested, but it didn't work out. I
don't necessarily hate that.
Steve Guttenberg, I
Great
think
name.
he also wanted too much money because this was the height of Steve Guttenberg. Michael Keaton was up for the role.
I can't see Michael Keaton doing it. He
can only
brings
do
too much
Snowmen.
crazy.
I could see it. This one I think I could see too. Not as good as the Robin Williams, but Bill Murray was up for the role, but was kind of uninterested.
I read that. I like the movie, but it's so different. I can't see it.
That's kind of my chalk go-to with Tom Hanks recastings is a Bill Murray.
What about this one? I actually kind of like this. Judge Reinhold was up for it. I could maybe see him doing a weird. It wouldn't be a classic necessarily, but I could see him doing it.
I could see him playing a similar character.
See, now we're
Yeah.
like 7th on the list of Penny
Yeah.
Marshall's. Like
We're down. We're down.
Hey, but not
I
ju-
could see him doing it.
But not on the names, because up next, John Goodman was also up for the role of Josh.
Love it, but not for this.
a little more accurate peek into the life of a 30-year-old, though. Maybe.
Yeah.
Holy
Guy that's been
shit.
around the
Gary Busey auditioned for it and wanted it, but did not get it.
Turned down.
There's not.
Are you kidding me?
There's no way I could see Gary Busey in any.
No.
In any,
I also have Jeff Bridges here. Jeff Bridges, I think, was also
I could
for
see
Josh.
Busey as Paul, maybe.
Yeah, this one had a lot. Let us know what you think of our recasting for this movie. If you have something better, make sure you can put
Chime
your
in, please.
Yeah, please put your options up on our social media posters. But we're going to move on to Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4.
All right, so this Mount Rushmore, you're going to be like, are we going to do body swap movies? No, we're not. Based off of Billy and
Almost
how
did.
good of a friend, yeah, we almost did, but that's not as deep as you think. Let us know your
like
top
4.
4, because
There are 4.
there are 4 and everybody else's 4 on the internet's 4. There's just not enough. So this week we're doing, based off of Billy's character, best friends / friend duos in movies. And we're going to try to switch it up this week. We're going to do a new format, so play along. I'm
Bear
going to
with
do
us.
my number 1, and then we'll go clockwise this week. Maybe next week we'll do different. Ready? Best friend in cinema. And this is maybe, I'm considering it, I like this friendship. and it actually might just be the best friendship in cinema. It's Chewie to Han Solo.
Ooh,
that
nice.
guy's got his motherfucking back through and
Good
through
friend.
until the day he dies.
true.
And he's sad, and he's a good friend, and I think they both love each other and there for each other. But it's Chewie to Han Solo as his Billy is to Josh.
That's a great one. Mark, who do you got?
I've got Seth in Superbad.
Ooh, that was on my list too.
Totally thought of that, but I just couldn't.
Just a good high school friend, like just someone you tag team to go to a party with. Like you're not going if they're not going.
That one came out at a good time for us too, right around junior, senior year. So that one did really hit home, and that
You end up sleeping at his house at the end. Just like
carries him home down the
home.
street. That's it. That was maybe going to be my
You
number
hold
one.
their hair back when they're puking in the toilet. It's just what you do as a friend.
And they depicted such good high school friendship too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it in the same kind of whimsical comedy route for mine.
Love it.
I'm doing Wedding Crashers with the Owen Wilson, Vince
Nice.
Vaughn.
Definitely thought of that.
It got down to I'm reading "Don't Kill Yourself" books, man. So it got down to a pretty low point.
So
in that
which one
movie.
do you think is the better friend? I think
Vince is Vince Vaughn. He comes
So Vince
back.
is the good friend.
I
Love
think he's
that.
the
Love
better
that
friend.
pick.
He comes back to help him
That
out.
was definitely on my list. I didn't put them in the top because I wasn't quite sure.
Superbad, honestly, Mark kind of beat me out. I think that would have been my number one. So really the question is now, what do we nominate for some number fours here to fill out our roster?
Do you guys want to?
What's our George Washington, if you will?
I was going to throw this out just maybe because they are such a good on-screen duo. I wasn't sure of the movie, but probably Step Brothers with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, but it doesn't seem big enough to
They also
fit to
don't
make
seem
number
like
four.
legit friends.
They do,
we-
though. That's
can
just
we-
it. They do seem to have like chemistry, though, which they've
Can we
made
throw
chemistry.
that out? Can we throw that one out?
Yeah, that's not it, but I did have that as
Best
mention.
friend. Think about best friend in a movie.
This is not my favorite, but I really think this is one of the best depiction of friendships on cinema. It's Stand By Me.
Ooh, that's a
it's
very
Teddy
good option.
LePage to the main character. He's such a good friend. And this one was tough because I know it's a group of four, but within that group of four, those two are still the main friends, I think.
You know what? I'm going to counter you with just another comedy one, and that's Simon Pegg and Nick Frost from Shaun of the Dead. That's a bromance. I don't
Winning.
know.
That one's winning so far.
You have a very good drama series one.
Yeah,
That
I've
might
been
be
drama ones.
That might be a pretty high contender as far as like what pulls at my heartstrings, but
So okay, out of the Cornello trilogy, which
it's the first.
It's gotta be
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah.
Okay, I know. All right.
What about Andy Dufresne?
Ooh, that is a good friendship. Then obviously Red's his best friend.
Red
Red's
would
the good
would
ones.
be the pick.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, I have a almost joke contender, but Fast and the Furious, man, they're family now. They turn into family.
Toretto?
Yeah. I'm talking Paul Walker and I'm talking Toretto.
Are you talking Paul or Toretto?
I don't know who's
You're
the better
picking the duo.
friend.
Well, then if
Cameron's winning.
I don't know, man. It has a Charlie.
okay, then I'll do it. Then if you
That
want to
has
do
a
where they
heart-
copied it from, then let's just do Point Break. I'm talking
God.
Johnny
Okay.
Utah and fucking Bodhi Zaffa, my friend. I
Best
don't know.
friend? No.
I don't.
Billy's a better friend than Zaffa.
You're right. Those two are more like one.
Yeah, those are brothers.
Yeah, they're so much more than friends.
Soulmates, yeah.
They're like that moment in Avatar when you put tails together. It's just a lot more going on than friendship.
Oh, Cameron and Ferris Bueller.
Ooh, that's
a
good
very
one.
good one,
That's
yeah.
a good
I'll
one.
do it. That's a friend right there.
Okay, so we're going to let you, the audience, fill out our fourth roster. So if there's one in particular you like, but make sure you write in on our movie posters on social media at Cult Classics Pod to let us know who you think wins the end of our our Mount Rushmore top four roster. Thanks for checking out our episode on Big. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe, rate and review, all of that good stuff. If you want to make a movie request, you can write in at cultclassicspodcast@gmail.com. And as always, if you want to interact and have some fun with us, hit us up at Cult Classics Pod on social media. Write in under the movie poster for any of the missing categories or any thoughts you had during the episode. Until then, we'll check you next time.